Plaintiff Carmen Diaz met the defendant on a dating site. And although they didn't hit it off romantically, they did become best friends and roommates. Carmen claims while living together, the defendant's son stole her car and crashed it, so she's suing. Defendant Rodrigo Alvier says Carmen was a great friend, and they often gave each other dating advice. Rodrigo says on the night of the accident, he feared his son was dead, but he doesn't feel responsible for his son's actions.
Start with you.
Okay, so I met Rodrigo about 3 years ago on a dating site. We never hit it off romantically. We went on around 3 dates or so, and we decided just to stay friends, and we became best friends, actually, to the point that he's a traveling DJ, so he would take me on his gigs, and I would run his photo booth while he ran the DJ aspect of the night. So we FaceTimed every night when we weren't together. I mean, we did things like regular best friends did on a daily basis. So fast forward, he knew that I was, in a toxic relationship. So I was paying rent on my own for over a year. And at that point, Rodrigo offered me to move in with him. He had a room for rent at his home. And so I agreed.
When was that?
Around the beginning of August of this year. It was a win-win situation for both of us. So I moved in, but shortly thereafter, about 3 days after I moved in, I went on vacation. So I hadn't been at the house for more than 10 days before the incident happened. So on one of the days, Rodrigo invited me to go to a gig with him. He didn't need me to be the photo booth that day because he had it covered because he wasn't doing the DJ, only the photo booth. So we went to the gig and we got back to the home, and it was about 11:45 at night. I knew once it was midnight was his son's birthday. So at that point, I told him, why don't you go down to the basement? Our bedrooms were on the second level. Why don't you go down to the basement and wish your son a happy birthday? And at that point, he refused because he was upset that the son had stolen something from his bedroom.
That's reason enough.
Yes, it is. So we did as we normally do. We were just hanging out, listening to music. And next thing you know, fast forward, it's about 2 a.m. and there's flashlights flashing through the windows. And I look outside and it's a Cook County Sheriff Department. And they're flashing, you could see their armor and their badges. They had their masks on. And so I quickly run, and start getting dressed because I was already in my pajamas. While this time, Rodrigo's running downstairs. Well, not running, walking. And he was talking to the police. And
You dumping it in the toilet?
No, just changing.
He was talking to. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
You run out and buy some time. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he runs downstairs and I'm trying to change. I was in my pajamas. I go downstairs and all I hear was, your son is in the hospital. He's been involved in an accident, alcohol involved. That's all I hear by the time I'm coming downstairs. So when I get down there, the officer says something to the nature, there's been an accident, he hit a median, he's got stuck on the median, the police were called, and your son is in the hospital, you need to go pick him up. And I was like,
pick him up?
Yes, from the hospital.
I'm waiting on the bad news. Thank God it's better than I thought.
Right. So we did as we normally do. We were just hanging out, listening to music. And next thing you know, fast forward, it's about 2 a.m. and there's flashlights flashing through the windows. And I look outside and it's a Cook County Sheriff Department. And they're flashing, you could see their armor and their badges. They had their masks on.
Plaintiff Carmen Diaz says she and the defendant were best friends and roommates, but she claims while living together, the defendant's son stole her car and crashed it.
Go ahead.
So the police say, the car that was involved was a Toyota Corolla. And I said, what? I said, you have to be joking because that's my vehicle. So this whole time, we think he's in the basement for his birthday and he had gone into my bedroom, stolen my keys and stolen my car and then gotten into an accident. So the car was not drivable. It had to be impounded because...
So since we're talking about, at this point, the car, let me allow him to give background remarks, and then we'll get back to the point that you're at. Sir, you want to take us up to the accident?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, like she said, I met her about 3 years ago at a dating site. We remained friends, became very good friends. We gave each other advice. When she dated men, I dated women. We did everything together, just like a guy best friend. It was great. I'm very unfortunate that we're here at this time right now. Like she said, we that date, I didn't go bother my son because I thought he was asleep. It was late. I have custody of my 2 kids. They were being raised in the slum of Florida. I fought for them. Their mother's a great mom. It's just the living situation was horrible there. So I brought them over to live with me. And I tell you that I don't know how single moms, single dads do it, but there's no manual to raising these kids. My son's 17, and I did everything to try to raise. I'm doing everything to try to raise him the right way. So, like I said, I didn't bother him. He stole some small from my room when I noticed when I got home. I said, you know what, let him sleep. We're going to take him out to dinner Sunday and have a good time with him. Me and Carmen became best friends, like I said, 2, 3 in the morning, laughing, talking about anything. We would do edibles and just, have an amazing time. Just a great woman. And we, like she said, we started to see flashes in the bedroom. I thought I was seeing things at that point.
Yeah, it was those edibles.
I was saying things until I asked her, look out the window, and she saw, what she said. She saw the cops out there. I ran downstairs. At this point, I'm thinking my son's asleep. What's going on? The first thing the cop says is, are you Nehemiah's father? Before he finished that sentence, there's 99% never good news when the cops at your house asking you that. But he grabbed me by my arm. I remember Carmen was in the living room getting ready fast to go to see what the situation was all about. And the cop does say right away he's okay. So, everything flashed in a millisecond for me. That's all I cared about. They proceeded to tell me the story just like Carmen said. He had stolen a car, this. I'm getting ready to go get him. He's at the hospital. Is he okay? Yeah, he's fine. They're going to release him to me. I was kind of shocked about that. So I was getting ready to go. I'm Carmen, let's go. But at that, at some point, I'm like, what car? I got my car. And it happened to be her car. They radioed it in, and it was her Corolla.
And you're suing him for what his son did, and his son is a minor, obviously.
Correct. He had just turned 17 that night. Well, Saturday into Sunday. So he had just turned 17.
He had problems in the past?
I am unaware of any problems. I thought he was a good kid. We hung out.
Had any problems in the past?
No, he's a good kid. He's a boneheaded 17-year-old.
He ran off with the car that night.
But he must have. I think I failed as a dad. I should have never took a gig that weekend.
You felt perhaps you should have taken the weekend off.
Well, yeah. After this happened, I felt I should have taken it off. I should what did I do? Why was I gone? He wanted a party for his birthday. We wanted to go do something for his birthday. I should have been there and done something, instead of him being alone, being tempted to take a car and going to go drink and drive. He could have killed himself. Thank God the median was there that stopped him.
You're saying all the things to cause you responsibility here. Sound like you knew a lot about your son. So much so, you thought perhaps looking back, I should have stayed there because I know how my son is. And when you know how your son is or your child is and they're a minor and they cause damage to others, you're responsible for it. $2,420, I'm holding you responsible for the acts of your son because in reading between your words, which you might try and adjust, you said, I look back and I said I should have stayed there. So I have to give her the judgment. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
It's an unfortunate situation, but I have nothing but love for you.
She's still my friend. I still love her. There's no love lost. It was just a unfortunate situation.